What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Many of you are already abreast about the war going on in Ukraine. And for many of you guys who know, I lived in Poland for 6 years. I still have my apartment there. And the city that I'm living in, or that I live in rather, is full of immigrants. Not just Ukrainian. I live close to the border of Ukraine, not so far from it. So obviously that's one of the first stops that people may come to. And in a city called Rzeszów, Poland, there was a Congolese man by the name of Pyra who was interviewed by, I believe, ABC News. Now, interestingly enough, we understand some of the issues that many African students or people living in Ukraine faced with trying to get out of trying to get to Poland. Many of them were sent to the back of the line. Ukrainian soldiers told them that it was the Ukrainians first, and that they had to wait in line. But in this particular case, this gentleman was offered the chance to fight for Ukraine. Okay, they just try to give him guns and try to get him to fight. But he had an interesting response. I want to play that response, and then I'm going to come back and give some unique opinions on it.
Of people flee the violence in Ukraine. Worrying accounts now of racial discrimination are being reported throughout the evacuation efforts. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees is now confirming to us that there are cases of discrimination in admitting refugees. One Congo native saying he was discriminated against while trying to board a train out of Ukraine. Take a listen.
They even told us, like, we are going to give you guns and you're gonna fight for Ukraine. I said, hi, we gonna fight for Ukraine? We are not Ukrainian. We are black. So how can we fight? How can we fight for Ukraine? If we fight for Ukraine, we are going to die first because we are black. When they will see, oh, look at those black people. I think they are from they are from NATO. So we have to kill them first. So how could they think that way? Come on. Ukraine.
So you heard what he had to say. Now, I want to give credit to Brother George Macon. We were talking about this particular brother. And George Macon had a particular interesting view about this guy. He said, well, listen, I understand that you don't want to fight for Ukraine because you're black, you're not Ukrainian. But do you say that when you want to date their women?
You're goddamn right.
I know I'm going there. Because I've been to Ukraine. All right? Whenever a black man comes from the continent to date one of those Ukrainian women and give him a mixed baby, you the first to run over there. We're gonna be real, because I'm pretty sure Pyro ain't turning down no Ukrainian booty. Okay? When you want to compete in their economy, you right there with them. All right? Now I understand that, because I wouldn't want to fight too, but at the same time, we gotta look at how Ukrainians look at them. Hey, listen, bro, you don't got nowhere to go. Your country is in turmoil. You might as well come and die for us and fight for us, because you ain't got nowhere to go. You here. We're not even doing well as a country, and you here. All right? Plus, you guys are over here running after our women every chance you get. So what you mean you don't want to fight for us? All right? And I want to talk about this because I understand Ukraine was being racist and things like this, but we're gonna keep it real. I've been to Ukraine like 4 times. All right, the way that these guys see it, all right, especially with the African dudes, y'all over here creating mixed race children with our ladies every chance you get. All right. Some of y'all are trying to even compete against us in the economy. Why are you here? you might as well fight for us too.
Oh, hell no.
All right. But again, I want to go back to the point of, listen, as rich as the Democratic Republic of the Congo is, number one, why is he in Ukraine? I mean, I'm just thinking about this because Ukraine, if you get educated there, it's not like you're really getting anything. I've seen Congolese come to Congo. Like, why not South Africa? Why, I mean, like, why Ukraine? All right. And the way that they're gonna look at it is that, bro, you're a refugee. You're in the bottom of the barrel here. And I wanna tell black men something, because the reason why they're offering the blacks to fight is because, hey, listen, you over here getting our women pregnant. Okay. You're dealing with our women all the time. So our women are good enough for you to sleep with, but they ain't good enough for you to fight for? Then why are you here in the first place? That's probably how they see it. I know guys are not gonna agree with me on that, but it's like, listen, if I can't fight for you, I can't take your women either. We gotta kind of look at it from that perspective. And I see the point that George is making there. You know, here's where I want to talk about what Africa and this whole situation with the free trade agreement and everything. You guys know I'm like really, I'm not the best person on African politics. I tend to stay out of that in personal conversations with people, especially here in Africa. But I look at the things that the African Union allegedly is trying to get accomplished. The free trade agreement. That still hasn't really worked out so well. ECOWAS coming out with its own currency. That still hasn't worked out. The Naira is still trash in Nigeria. The Liberian dollar, you might as well just, I mean, it's so super inflated right now. Okay. When you look at Africa being able to give an opportunity to its own citizens, where the best they can do is go to Ukraine. And let me tell you like this, Ukraine's not even in the European Union. Ukraine is, I won't call it a joke, but it's like a last resort place for somebody to go to. You would only go there because you can't go to London. You can't get into the EU. If you're in Ukraine, you didn't even try. Or you couldn't get into Poland. You couldn't get into Hungary. You go there because you can't go nowhere else. All right? Why allow these people there in the first place? And it comes back to bad leadership. You know, their economy isn't stable, hasn't been stable for a long time. Ukraine is not so much different than certain African countries. All right. So, you know, and why is it? I mean, I'm looking at the guy now. He's a refugee. He's going to be in Poland. What are you going to be doing? I mean, I'm just thinking about, like, what are you going to be doing in Poland? You're probably going to have a hard time getting acquainted with the Polish language, getting a job, getting acclimated. And the reality is, I know a lot of people right now that are African students in Poland, and some students are from Ethiopia. They can't even go back home. What are they going to do back home? Ain't nothing for them back home. That's the big problem. And that's why the Ukrainian soldiers can disrespect you by saying, hey, listen, you ain't got nowhere else to go. Come fight for us. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe at the bell. Check out the first camp at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.